What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals, pay your actors. No deal. What the heck's going on here? Pay your actors. Just simple as that. Congratulations to the writers. Love it. We're here to talk a little late review on The Creator, but Kyle and I did get a chance. What the heck is Autumn putting on my brand new desk? This turd muffin. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is awful.
What happened?
Putting sticky stuff down. Anyway.
Sticky stuff?
I know. I'm going to have to scrub this bad boy. This is a brand new desk. Beautiful. Get out of town. I like to sway. If it drives you not watching, bummer. Thank you, my patrons, Kimberly, Karen. Go join the patronage. Guys, you can get one of these. Comment, share us around. We're going to give one of the commenters. We've got a handful of people. Shout out to all of them who have been commenting on a lot of stuff, which has been awesome watching the podcast and things like that. So go do all that. Follow us, TikTok, all those things. Pay your actors. We're here for The Creator, so let's get into it. Kyle and I have both seen it, as well as we'll review Ahsoka, which should be up on the channel around the same time as this. So, Kyle, what were your positives of The Creator?
Well, the obvious takeaway was that the movie looks great, especially looks great on the big screen. And that shouldn't be a surprise from Gareth Edwards. He's a director kind of like Zack Snyder in that he knows how to visually make a scene feel grand or larger than life and have like a really unique visual style to itself. I think of like the Godzilla movie a few years back or Rogue One. Like he's always been able to just get me to absorb into no matter what kind of movie like I'm about to witness, make it feel larger than life almost. So between that great work from him as well as the really great visual effects that come from this movie, I was able to just be sucked into this movie all the way through. And I really do want to give props to the visual effects here because honestly, since Avatar, this is probably like the best visual effects looking movie that I've seen so far this year. Maybe John Wick 4, they did do a lot of special effects when it came to the stunts that look seamless throughout the movie. But at least with this one, you can just tell the hard work and the thought that was put into making this look as great as possible, especially for, it being such a sci-fi heavy movie. So I really hope that studios at least take notes in how that creative process was done and just being able to figure out how to, one, treat visual effects workers better, but two, make it so that way the schedules can line up so that way these people can get enough time to be able to have movies looking as amazing as like The Creator did. So just based on those two things visually, like the movie is great to watch on the big screen. And John David Washington and Madeline Yuna Voiles are the two leads of this movie. And while the story falls flat to me, and we'll get more into that on my negative side, I at least liked seeing them work opposite of each other. I think the young actress was incredible in this movie, and John David Washington, not my favorite performance of his, but I could tell that he was really giving his all, and he was doing a very good job. So I really just liked watching them the most.
Yeah, I left the movie in the same kind of boat with visual. I want to give shout out to Greg Fraser and Oren Soffer, who are the cinematographers. One of them looks like Oren. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm saying his name right. Looks like he hasn't been doing much, and this is his biggest budget movie. But Craig did Dune, did Rogue One, did the Batman. So he is an absolute stud when it comes to cinematography. So definitely it looked visual. If you had not told me it was Edwards, I would have thought it was a Neil Blomkamp movie with the sci-fi and the way the alien or the robots looked. I think it's a very interesting story. I agree. I thought all the performances were pretty good. It's not my favorite of John David Washington, but I think he did a really nice job. I think the visuals are why you go. I think when you look at the budget, the movie cost $80 million and it looks phenomenal. You're sitting back going, this is what Marvel needs to go back to. Make an $80 million movie, make a $100 million movie, because this movie hopefully should end up making its budget back and hopefully turning a profit, which is what we want to see. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, but there are some negatives. So Kyle, what are your negatives?
Yeah, While I did have those positives to say about the movie, I wish I liked this movie a lot more than I ended up doing. And the reason being is that the story just really falls flat to me. It just had this sense that it didn't have like um enough attention done to the characters' personal journeys as well as the chemistry between the characters. And it felt like we were very much leapfrogging all over the place just to get to a very climactic third act, which I think climactic, yes, works, but story wise, and if the thought process for how we get to places makes sense, or how the characters feel like there's a real connection through the written word, I just think it completely falls flat on that element. Yes, I did say that the two favorite performances did do a good job, but they also weren't given a very well thought out script, in my opinion. It felt like it was kind of script was good enough for them to be able to do what they really wanted to do and to make like a very visual, larger than life sci-fi story. So I felt like there was a good enough story there, but it really just falls flat and it becomes noticeable almost right away. So I would suggest going to see it just for the visual aspect of it if you really just want to get sucked into that, as that worked for me. But story wise, I think it just becomes very noticeable and it just does not work.
Yeah, I kind of in a similar boat. I left feeling like, man, I liked it. I just didn't love it. I wish I had loved it. It took me a kind of a little bit to figure out what that is. And I do think it might have just been the overall story. I think the way it's crafted had really good moments. There were some moments at the end that I was like, this is what I've been missing. So I agree with it, kind of was more on the story and the chemistry, where I didn't necessarily care about a lot of the things going on, even though they were trying to set it up that way. But there were a couple of, and one in particular, very good moment at the end that I even found myself getting a little teary-eyed, and I was like, okay, this is what I had been meaning. The young kid is really good in the movie. It's hard to find good kid actors, and I think the best chemistry and the best relationships you're going to get is the kid and John David Washington compared to anybody else. But I think the story tries to focus more on John with other characters too much, which causes this issue where it feels like there's a lack of chemistry. But I think if you're a fan of sci-fi, you should absolutely go check this out. It's one of the better sci-fi movies I think we've gotten in a while. It does disappoint a little bit with how much of an expectation I kind of wanted out of it. But for not having seen a Gareth Edwards project in a while, I think this was pretty well done, and I'm glad we got an original sci-fi movie. I do hope it makes enough of its budget back worldwide where some of the studios are like, yeah, we should greenlight some more of these kind of style movies. But yeah, anything else, Kyle?
No, just a flawed movie around, has some highs, has some lows. I would recommend if you're a sci-fi fan or if you just want like a theatrical experience visually, but story is definitely the weakest part, which is unfortunate.
All right, guys, what did you think? Comment below, let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Thank you to the Moon Meal patrons for watching. Go get some merch and comment below, share so you can be part of this. Gets 2,000. And yeah, pay your actors. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.